So you guys have to know that once the NBA draft happened, I was itching to make a Pelicans video, but I held off, ultimately because I knew there would be more Pelicans news coming, and I was right in a major way. Not only have the Pelicans made moves since the NBA draft, legit roster moves, but also we have news regarding one of the most pivotal and controversial talents of the past decade. I say that because people's opinions on Zion Williamson are literally all over the place. It's actually kind of ridiculous, and at some point, things got downright disrespectful. But look, I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys that Zion Williamson is going to prove everybody wrong this year. Wait, yes I am. I think what Zion has in store for this season is going to be amazing. I think the Pelicans are going to be a team that shock a lot of people. Look, like I've said before, you'll see a lot of people make videos on the New Orleans Pelicans, but a lot of those people don't watch the New Orleans Pelicans play basketball. They haven't watched the New Orleans Pelicans with the consistency that I've had over the past decade or so. You can say at times have been tough for Pelicans fans, but right now, I think they're looking up in a major way. Before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another Getlikecoop video, and that's facts. So I've been playing a lot of NBA 2K21 Next Gen. You guys are not going to want to miss a stream. Trust me, we talk basketball in the stream. We're very interactive with the chat. It's a fun time. You guys will not want to miss it. I'm going to drop the link to my stream down in the description below. You'll also find the link to my football channel there. Lastly, dropping a like on this video would be major. It shows me that you guys enjoy my content, and it also shows YouTube that you guys are liking what you are seeing. Look, I feel like everybody, or at least most people, knew Zion was going to be great, but the major question surrounding Zion Williamson was his weight. NBA stars, fans, sports personalities all gave their opinions on how Zion needed to lose a lot of weight if he wanted to have a long, healthy career in the NBA. And then there was Gilbert Arenas, who said Zion Williamson would be at his best if he was a shooting guard. Despite the weight issues, Zion Williamson was flat out dominant last season. I mean, this guy was absolutely phenomenal. He was doing things that we had rarely ever seen a rookie do. This guy comes into the NBA after missing a ton of time and averages 22.5 points per game, 6.3 boards per game, and 2.1 assists. He also posts a 24.14 player efficiency rating. And if you're doubting exactly how efficient Zion Williamson was, he shot 58% from the field. The guy was an absolute bowling ball down low. He was dominating some of the strongest players in the NBA. One of those guys, Steven Adams, who he now plays with, which is awesome. And I'm going to talk about that more in just a second. But Zion was great. Weight aside, minute restrictions aside, Zion was a talent that you had to see to believe. But let's talk about the weight again, because there was one glaring issue where I feel like his conditioning really held him back. And that was on the defensive side of the basketball. In college, Zion was so versatile and such an intense defender that if he was going up against you, you might as well roll the ball out of bounds and save yourself the embarrassment. His short area quickness for a guy his size is unbelievable. His ability to laterally move his feet, unbelievable. His explosiveness, need I say it, unbelievable. You guys understand where I'm coming from. This was somebody that really took pride on the defensive side of the basketball at Duke. Fast forward to the NBA, and his first couple of games with the Pelicans, he's not a great defender, but that's the case for a lot of rookies. You go to the bubble and you see a version of Zion that I'm not sure anybody had ever seen before. He was so out of tune on the defensive side of the basketball, it was ridiculous, and you could see the conditioning issues weighing on how he was approaching and playing the game of basketball. Now, I have to follow that up by saying he was still an absolute beast, and he still made the Pelicans a much better team. But there's no way you could watch Zion in the bubble struggling to play spurts longer than 5 minutes and struggling at times to make it up and down the court and be like, you know what? That's fine. We're not going to worry about that. Say what you want about Zion, but he's always struck me as somebody that's incredibly self-motivated, somebody that's able to look in the mirror and acknowledge their problems and get better from the mistakes they've made in the past. Now, I think Zion took it upon himself to make sure he comes back the next season in the best shape possible. All too often, we see a lot of cap stories about players losing weight or becoming stronger, but I don't think this is going to be one of those stories at all. What you are seeing on your screen right now is a recent picture of Zion Williamson. He looks insanely healthy and his conditioning looks miles better. Now, obviously, we need to see this translate to the court, but I love what I'm seeing right now from Zion. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comments below. Now, you guys may know the Pelicans recently drafted Kira Lewis. Kira is among the fastest players in the NBA. He reminds you of De'Aaron Fox. He is an absolute terror in the open court. You add Kira Lewis, somebody with star potential, to an up-tempo offense that has Zion Williamson, Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, and Josh Hart, and you're going to see a lot of highlights. Now, also, I didn't forget about Jackson Hayes. There are going to be some phenomenal moments that the Pelicans produce. If everything clicks, this could be a team that ends up being must-watch basketball. The Pelicans could have did nothing this offseason, and Zion could have came back in better shape, and this team would be a much better team. They got a new coach, and because Zion has not reached his full potential, this is going to be somebody that can wreck the game on the offensive side of the basketball and also the defensive side of the basketball. The Pelicans recently just upgraded from Derek Favors, who was, regardless of what advanced stats say, regardless of the Pelicans being better with Favors on the court, they upgraded from Derek Favors to Steven Adams. Now, Derek Favors last season, I'm happy he got his bag, but he was a shell of himself and he didn't fit what the Pelicans wanted to do offensively at all. He was a poor passer. He struggled finishing at times. Things just weren't great with Favors in New Orleans, and this was somebody that was favoriting tweets about possibly going back to Utah. He goes back to Utah, so everybody's happy because now the Pelicans have Steven Adams, one of the best rebounders in the NBA. Even if the stats don't always show it, teams rebound better when Steven Adams is in the game. Steven Adams not only brings you an interior rebounding presence that's going to be a nightmare alongside Zion Williamson, but he also brings you some paint defense. He is one of the best anchors down low in the league, at least in my opinion. All too often, people think the Warriors were just this great three-point shooting team. The Warriors were great at every aspect of basketball at their peak. One of those aspects was rebounding. They could demoralize you with the amount of second chance opportunities they would get. I witnessed it firsthand. The Pelicans now have the potential to absolutely destroy teams on the interior with Zion Williamson and Steven Adams, two of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. Oh, and did I mention that Zoe and Hart are also great rebounders for the guard position? I really do look forward to Van Gundy bringing out the defensive potential in Jackson Hayes, Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, and Zion Williamson. Now, B.I. is somebody that has all of the defensive potential, just has to lock in, and he's made it known going into the next season that defense is something that he's going to focus on. Now he has the coach in Van Gundy to truly make it happen. In the comments below, let me know if you think the Pelicans are good enough to make the playoffs. Also, drop their record down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support the channel. I'm Getlikecoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.